Okay, so welcome, guys. We're talking about different Gemarot, but again, I'm here with my guys. We're starting, some little light Musar. So I just want to tell you, because you mentioned that, right? You said we have to make sure that, right, we have Shmirat Einayim, that, right, we're keeping our eyes kosher, right? So now let's say you said, oh, Rabbi, let's say I'll put around a girl that I think is not attractive, right? So what does the Gemara say? They have an argument. What happens? They go to a wedding, right? And they ask a question. They say, you have to say, right, that this person was a kala na'ava hasuda. You go up to when someone's getting married. Guys, what do? Someone's getting married. You go up to the person and say, wow, you have such a beautiful bride. So the Gemara asks the question. They say, what if the kala is not beautiful? Right? Think about it. No, I'm saying right. Think about it. Just like you said. What if I don't think the kala is beautiful? Right? A guy goes to. Right, so you're saying, oh, just be nice, but the Gemara, they ask a question. They say, it says, Midevar sheker, sheker, with a kof. Sheker. Right? Midevar sheker, tirchak. Right? That means distance yourself far away from lies. So if I don't think that the kala is attractive, right, she looks good. So, but how can I say that, right? So you see how the Gemara is like saying, Gemara tells you, go up to the person and says, wow, you have kala na'ava hasuda. Such a beautiful kala, right? And pleasant. But then they say, what do you mean? But let's say she's not. So they say nothing. But the Gemara says, say something. So what's the answer? You know what the answer the Gemara gives? It says, it doesn't matter. Maybe to you, she's not beautiful, but to him, she's beautiful. He'll never marry, nobody will ever marry somebody that they don't think that is beautiful.
It's the rich.
So, no. Not that. What I do is... Unless they're rich. You guys, so cute at this age. No, but but that's a good point. But that's a good point that you're saying. But you know what? That's something that we have to understand also, right? Money comes in. It's always great. Hashem, beautiful. Thank God, blessed our community. So many people have nice amount of money. They're comfortable. You have to know, Hashem. Money comes, money goes. You know, what have you want to be with somebody who's going to say no matter what. Let's say, oh, imagine like you were rich. Imagine inshallah, you'll be rich.
Inshallah.
Right? Let's say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Good.
Donate to your
Donate
rabbi fund.
to the rabbi fund? You donate to the school and the shul first. There's no rabbi fund. That's right. I have a chesed fund for my shul. Right? But listen, inshallah, right? And that's a good thing, right? Right? What was your attitude? I gave you, right, a beracha, Solomon, that you should be rich. And automatically you said you're going to donate. Right? That's the right thing. Because what does Hashem give us money?
Maaser.
We always think, Maaser, for sure, but we always think the money is ours. Right? The money does belong to us in this world, but Hashem gave us the ability, when He gives us money, the ability to do great things with the money. When a person does the great things with the money, that's when Hashem looks down and says, wow, see this person? He understands what the world is about. But now let's say what a person, who came? What's your name?
Steven.
What's up, Steven? Steven, come right in. Steven what? We got 3 Stevens in the class. Beautiful. Steven what, sorry? Nasser. Okay, great, Steven. So again, so now what happens? The person comes to the wedding and he sees the kala. Kala, you know what? She doesn't look so pretty to me. But you know what? This guy chose to marry this woman. Must be that to him, it's what? Beautiful.
Beautiful.
No, beautiful.
Beautiful.
To him, it's beautiful. And by the way, that's a big thing that we see about beauty. Right? That beauty, right? Beauty is not, yes, definitely the outside package that somebody has to be, appealing and attractive. But you know what? Even though it's not so attractive to somebody else might like it. There are a lot of different, I'll give you an example. I don't like anything like coconut ice cream, coconut anything.
Yeah.
My wife loves that. Loves coconut. Okay. This taste, some people like somebody who's tall, some people somebody who's short, some people who have blue eyes, brown eyes, this hair, you never know. Everybody has their own tastes. But always we say that what a person has Selim Elokim. Person has that inside, that piece of Hashem, right? And again, piece of Hashem, quote, has no physical, right? But again, has that neshama that we always respect. We're going to learn a very interesting story today, guys, in the Gemara. So always when I try to do the Gemara, the best thing is you learn the interesting stories. You have to learn the regular parts of the Gemara too, because that's how you get sharper in your brain, right? That's how you get sharper in your brain, by learning how the rabbis, how they looked at the Torah, how they took it. What did this pasuk mean? What did this word mean? Why was this word before that word after this word? That's the most important part of the Gemara. But I'm going to read you guys a nice story. This is a nice story. right? Also, it's hard. Raise your hand. You guys old enough to be fasting yet, or no? No one's fasting yet. You bar mitzvah? Wow. Stop Baruch. Stop Baruch. Yes. Right, same? Steve, Stop Baruch. That's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult, right? Are you hungry already? You hungry already?
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said if you look away from a girl and you say something, like if you try not to look at her, but you look away and then you pray for something, Hashem will give it to you.
Again, that's what the Chazal, they say. Well, what does that really mean? That means that again, you're conquering your Yetzer Hara. Let's do a different example. We just have it. You guys asked me this example, right? I'm not going to go into G's now, right? But let's go to a different example, right? If you hold back, let's say a person sees that there's a piece of non-kosher food, right? Well, let's say you're walking with your friends, right? And there's two pizza stores. You see the kosher pizza store and the non-kosher pizza store. You get a ton of reward, right? You control yourself and you say, you know what? I'm not going to go into this store. I'm going to go into that store. So the rabbis say, if at that moment you look up to Hashem and you pray, right? And you say, Hashem, give me the strength, right? Or you say, Hashem, in the merit that I'm going to conquer my Yetzer Hara, right? Always what do you have to do? When you pray from the heart. Hashem hears whatever we say. So whenever we say something that we really mean, right? Like we really have something that we really, I really want it. You ever really want something?
No.
I've really wanted something and I haven't gotten it. I didn't get it, right? Hashem, I still believe in that there's Hashem, but you know what? He's that we say, what do we call him?
Like a father.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? And then we said, En lanu al mi lehishaen, ela alavinu, avinu shebashamayim. You know that song? So what does that mean? Lehishaen, we have lehishaen with an ayin. See, you guys got it. Lehishaen. Lehishaen means to lean on. So, avinu shebashamayim. Why do we call him our Father in heaven? He's like a father. I'm sure everybody here loves their parents, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes do your parents say no?
Yes.
No.
Even though you beg, your parents never say no? I doubt it. Come on. Right? All right, so sometimes your parent says no. It's annoying sometimes, right? When your parents say no, you're like, come on, why'd they say no? I was really looking forward to it. This was really what I wanted. And then they said no. They still love you. Right. Sometimes what you think that you need or that you want, the answer is no. So that was always the famous way to look at it. Some people say, oh, Hashem didn't answer my prayer. He did answer. What was the answer?
No.
The answer was no.
Well, if you
can't
ask for $15 million.
You can ask for whatever you want. Don't say that.
Yeah, but then he'll answer.
You're back to the girl thing, Sal? They're trying to get away from the girl thing.
I have a question about the girl thing.
What's that? Sal's for
What do you pray? I hope she likes me, but she's right there. You try to live away from her.
So it's an interesting question. So the way that I like to do the question, let's say again, you're very young. We're not gonna do this girl likes me, girl. You waste a lot of time. Your age, we try to focus not on the girls, right? We focus on the Torah for sure.
I said that.
Not man. Hazaku Baruch. They fed him the answers before, right? But Tommy, listening? He's shaking everyone in the class. Right? The Hazak Baruch Kirbu Yemecha Sifu Bechasheno No, not Chai. Chaim with a Chay. Chaim. Bebene Israel Torah Siralano Hashem Morasha Kehilat Eis Chaim He the Machazikim. Okay, we'll do all the Pesukim now. But you're right. Should I pray for the girl to like me?
Yes.
Maybe no. Listen, I'm trying to say you should pray that you get the right woman at the right time from Hashem. You don't say you don't know if this is a girl. You may be blinded. The only reason why you like this girl is because to you she's very beautiful, or I'll say what you said, or she's rich, and you may be chasing after her for the wrong reasons. Right? So you don't know. You don't know if Hashem. Not just the Torah, you have to the midot. Good for Torah and Haydah. He just thinks Torah is the answer to
everything.
Torah is the answer.
Amen. Okay. So, but seriously, Simon, right? When you say the right way to phrase the prayer, in my opinion, right, is that a person says, "Look, if this girl's the one, let her be the one that's right for me. Hashem, I need the person that's right for me."
At the right time.
And if this is, in my opinion, maybe this is the right person. If you agree, Hashem, I would like to, and I would like to be together.
Amen.
Right? Again, together, chuppah, kiddushin, real stuff. Not
Amen.
like, there's none of this thing like the non-Jews do, we're dating, we're going out with each other. What's going out with each other? Wasting time, hacky balash on the phone? You're too young for that.
Join my Zoom call.
Join my Zoom call. She doesn't want, she's blocking you. She's going to block you, so. Okay, let's go back to, okay, good. Let's take the deep breath again. Good. I'm going to read for you guys the Gemara. I usually don't want to feed it as a story. The holy words of the Talmud are very important. So I want to give you this. This story, and this is a very important story that shows the importance of treating people right, treating people in the right way. There's a lot of lessons from this Agada, right? So I want to give this to you, and it's talking about an action. Where does so? Let me back up. The Gemara was an oral tradition. What does oral mean?
From the mouth.
From the mouth.
People
Speech.
always
Good.
tell that.
Excellent. Right? Let's say they say, Rabbi, we have an oral exam, right? It's a big scam, right? Rabbi,
Biggest
it's like
scam.
biggest scam, right? Something because it's easier to like, I
Yeah,
said
I'll
that.
take
I
an
said that.
oral
I meant
test.
that. I meant that, Rabbi. You didn't give me a chance. I was going to say it. Rabbi. I was going to say it. Right? So
Yeah, okay,
sometimes,
take
no,
100.
actually, oral exams are very good. You have to be a very skilled teacher to know how to give a good oral exam.
Mr. Barry did
Right.
that.
So-
I got 100 on that.
Right? So that's what oral means. Oral means from, like you said. No. Oral means from your mouth.
From the mouth.
From the path. They said in the English, the past. Okay.
No.
So,
It says.
wait one second. So now, the Gemara was never meant to be written down. Always, originally, it was only going to be passed down from generation to generation by speech, from speaking. Right? The Yehuda Nasi, right? What did he do, Stephen?
He wrote it down.
He wrote it down, right? He started with the Mishnah. Right, and then later generation, right, there are Tanaim, and there are Amoraim, right, in general. So we see that the Gemara is an offshoot of that, right? It has Mishnah in it, and then it goes from, right, the Zman of the Tanaim to the Amoraim. Good. So, a lot of times, what did the Gemara have to do as a trick? A lot of times you'll be like, Rabbi, how the heck did we get to this spot in the Gemara? Very random. That we're going from one topic, right, off topic. It's not off topic. There's always, you always have to find the connection. Either the connection.
That's because they go off topic.
Who is they?
Like the people that are writing it down.
The rabbis. No,
The
so it's
rabbis,
like, so
yeah.
there's always a reason why there's a flow.
No, because they ask a question and then they ask another question that leads to a different topic.
Good. So either it connects to the question, or Dave, what were you going to say?
It's all like relative. Like they start with the topic and they continue with the topic.
Good. But say, I thought you were going to say something better, right? Say better. What are we going to say? Say better.
Say better.
Say better.
Say better for
Right?
the
How do we say better? Because sometimes there could also be, the topic doesn't have anything to do with it, but the rabbi who said it, now once we brought up, right, the Rabbi Yehuda, right, like you guys said, let's give more stuff that what? That Rabbi Yehuda said. Okay? So sometimes you'd be like, Rabbi, come on. This topic has nothing to do with the other topic. Right? So instead, right, what do we have? No, but exactly, this is what Rabbi says. So why was that important, Stephen? Because they had to remember this by heart. There were generations of people who had to memorize this by heart. And say, so now, you know what happens? If I say, speaking of this, right, sometimes in my brain, what do I think of? I think of, let's say, Yankees. Oh, speaking of Yankees, how many world championships did they win? How many
24.
Hall of Famers? No.
27.
27, good. Right? How many, I'm a big Yankee fan. Right? So then you think, how many Hall of Famers? What numbers are retired? What you could start thinking about, like, wait, we got off topic. We were talking about World Series or other people. No, once you said Yankees, now tell me all the things about the Yankees. Right? Then
All the things about this rabbi.
all the things about this rabbi. Exactly. So sometimes, now, not all the time do they say all the things, but sometimes there's some of the things. So why is that important? This Gemara comes after. We see it's the Gemara. It's the Gemara of Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda, he was very optimistic. What does optimistic mean?
Happy,
So think about it.
Like
Let's
joyful.
interpret it a little bit better. What's
Yeah,
optimistic means?
he's I know like
He's
I know you know what it means,
he's
but
like,
it's hard to
he's like
express.
hopeful. He's
Okay, hopeful. He's positive.
positive, yeah.
Right? Optimistic means he always thinks he could see the good in the situation.
In the bad situation.
So I like the word that you used, right? Hopeful, right? Maybe could be a synonym for optimistic, right? He thinks that was a good one, Sal. That you said. Pessimistic means he's always looking at the bad side.
The negative.
Or the negative, right? Negative, right? Pessimistic is negative. Optimistic is very positive. So Rabbi Yehuda, what did he do? He took Pesukim that looked negative and he put a positive twist on it. He put a positive explanation on it. I'll give you one example, and that's the important example that we're going to have to see right here. He saw, and I'm paraphrasing, the Gemara really goes through like 2-3 steps to get to here, but I'm packaging it for you. Is that everybody's taking a turn to the Tesh?
Yeah, I'm going to the Tesh.
No problem.
And you went first.
Zabarok. Remember Asher Yasar. Asher Yasar with a Sadi, right? Because there's a difference, right? Samach is the circle, right? That's regular, right? A Sadi is what? The 3, right? The one that looks like a 3, right? Sadi. So how do you say that? Not Yatsar, Yasar. Asher Yasar. Sadi. Right? Min Masrayim. Min Masrayim. Dave Rami's wishing he's back in my class now. He's loving it, right, Dave? It's a good time. It's a good time. Nice, that was great. Look, he's saying Asher Yasar.
Asher Yasar.
Yasar. Yasar with a Sadi. Asher Yasar with a Sadi. Okay, let's come back. So I'm going to give you one. Let's summarize. We said Gemara is part of is after the Mishnah. Both were meant to be oral. Rabbi Yehuda and Nasi. Then later generations wrote the Gemara. There's a flow to the Gemara. Where did this come from? Right, this particular Gemara. Sorry. It's time for my fast now. Yeah, my fast now. I woke up early to pray. So now Rav Yehuda came and he gave us Pesukim that looked negative, but he turned them into a positive.
What, Torah Pesukim?
What Torah Pesukim? Right, he looked at Torah Pesukim and he says, no. So he said, let me give you an example since you're interested in this. He says that, let me give you a good one. Because there's one that's like, here. So he tells you what happens when HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, he says, Yerushalayim. Wait, no, I don't want to do that one either. Right, this one, here, Amar Yisrael, V'hikah Hashem et Yisrael ka'asher yanod hakaneh. What does that mean? So we see that it's better to have a curse from a Sadiq than a blessing from a Rasha.
Like Balak.
Bilam.
Bilam.
In Parashat Balak.
Yeah, Parashat
Balak. Bilam. No, so you got to have it, right? So now what does he say? If you look at it, I got you, right?
Hazak
We don't have no more Hazak Baruch. Right? So he says, compared him to a cedar, right? Bilam, when he curses Bnei Israel, when he blesses Bnei Israel, he says, it's really Malach, right? The Malach comes down and he puts it in. So we see that it says Ka'arazim, right? It means like the cedar tree. A cedar tree is a big, thick tree. It has a lot of wood. It's hard to blow down. And the Ahya Shulamit in Malachim Aleph, he was a very big Sadiq, and he told Bnei Israel a bad thing. He said, Hashem is going to hit you down and smite you like a kaneh, like a reed. A reed is like a tall piece of grass, a little thick piece of grass, but it's tall. Reed with an R, right? Reed that it goes like this. It goes back and forth in the water. So now we would say, how could it be? Look, that's pessimistic, right? What happens? Imagine that happens. That the big Sadiq curses Bnei Israel, tells them that it's going to be. He says, no. There's a positive side in this beracha also. He says, why? You look at it, a reed has a lot of good things that a cedar tree does not have. Number one, if you cut down a cedar tree, let's say I cut it at the bark, right, at the trunk, but there's still a little bit of trunk left. Could it regrow? No. But a reed, when you cut it, what happens? Regrows. That's number one. Number two, the cedar tree does not grow well and right inside the water.
If we get more of a
reed,
you can get more of a cedar tree than.
So let me say. So a reed can grow inside the water, right? And inside the water is good. Water is symbolic of, say the magic word, Torah, right? Torah is life. Torah is life. Right? Torah is life, right? You see guys walk around with that t-shirt like ball is life.
Yeah.
I want to like take a Sharpie
Game
and
is
like write
life.
Torah.
Ah.
Torah is life. I should make those shirts, right?
Yeah, she's
Would you wear them? Would you wear them? Would you wear them?
$40.
$40?
Yeah, they rip everyone off with the sweatshirts. The sweatshirts.
Oh,
you wanna buy?
sweatshirt, a sweatshirt.
No, a sweatshirt.
I
A
was saying a
basketball.
t-shirt.
A basketball is $40.
The actual basketball?
The actual
$20.
basketball.
What are you saying?
As the guys say, what do they say? Cap.
Got.
It's not $40.
It's $30.
20.
Okay, $20 for basketball.
All right, no, let's bring it back.
Started at 40.
That's how he's raising the price on you.
He's like 40.
So wait, so let's go back.
Nobody wants to buy it.
Cedar tree. Number one, if you cut it, does it regrow?
No.
But a reed does.
A reed
Does the cedar tree grow in the water?
No.
But the reed
Yes.
does. And thirdly, if there's a huge wind, hurricane
Yes.
wind, knocks the cedar tree down,
Snap.
but could it knock down the reed?
Yeah.
No, all the reed does is what? It blows.
It blows and then it comes
blows
back.
and it comes right back.
Say better.
Right? Say
Yeah, but the
better.
only thing is,
Say better.
that's like a fish could
Right.
eat the reed, but a fish can't eat the.
Nah, but it doesn't
cedar
eat
tree.
that reed.
Cedar
It's too much, right?
Cedar.
Say that right, but
Yeah, but you could also get
animals
materials.
could live in it.
Yeah, but you could get
We're gonna stick with
materials.
what the Gemara has. Now you're gonna give all. You can get materials.
You get materials out of a cedar tree.
I like that, but but you know what the cedar, and you know what the Torah. We know what the Torah Shabbat says over here, but the reed, right? You actually use it as a kolmos. What's a kolmos?
Almost.
Kol with
moss.
a kof. Kolmos.
Call moss.
What's a kolmos?
Everything is moss.
A full
Not moss.
You said moss.
Kolmos.
Full.
Everything
Almost.
is moss.
Kolmos is a quill, a
Full
pen.
Torah.
Pen, quote unquote, that they used to write the Sefer Torah with, right? Used to write a special. They used to take it and fashion it from a reed, and that right. As I'm saying, so a reed is where it comes from. So they have the kolmos, is the special pen, quote unquote, that they use for what? Writing the Sefer Torah.
Like a cuneiform.
That's cuneiform. I used to say cuneiform. Is cuneiform?
Uniform.
Right. So,
Uniform.
so maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong this whole time.
Uniform.
It's definitely spelt cuneiform, right?
Yeah.
It's C-U-N.
Cuneiform. I used to say cuneiform.
F.
Okay, I must be wrong. Okay, let's get to the story. All this that Rabbi Tawil just gave you to tell you, this whole Gemara I was talking about Rav Yehuda, and he gets down to the point about telling you how Bnei Israel, that when Ahiya, who was a Sadiq, he yelled at us and said, Hashem's going to hit you down like a reed. It still had a positive side to it,
But how are
right?
you going to hit
It's
someone down
negative.
with a reed?
He's going to hit us down, meaning like he's going to cut you down to like the side. It's a good question, right, of how we have in the pasuk. But the point is, let's read it again. It's going to be easy, right? So I didn't interpret it the right way. It means Hashem is going to hit you down as easily as it is to blow a reed in the wind. Is it easy to blow a reed in the wind?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's also
Look,
easy
that's
to blow
negative,
wind in-
but look at the
easy to
positives.
blow the leaves,
We
yeah.
gave 3 positives. If you cut it, what happens? It regrows. It grows in the water, right? Which is close to the water, which is the life of Torah. And
Like a hurricane.
How does
Hashem,
water?
even if the harshest
How does the
wind
Torah
comes,
symbolizes
it
the
just
water?
blows it. So it's bend, but don't break.
How does
There's-
water symbolize the Torah?
Mayim Hayim. No, that's
Yeah, but that's
right.
or. Isn't
Right,
it
so
fire though?
Right. Kiner Mizvah v'Torah or has that, but again, without this very famous Gemara in Masechet Sotah that talks about how fish in water, right? The fish, Bnei Israel is like fish, right? Because when they're in the water with the Torah, they could live. Once they come out, what
They're
happens?
dead.
Like when the fish.
So the water is Torah.
So you could say the same thing about fire. You can't go
You
in
can
the
definitely
fire.
say the same thing. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but
you're
you
right.
can't go in the
no, I'm
fire.
saying you're right. It's limited. No, we don't cross.
Exactly. So
We're not going to
it's the same.
cross
No, when the fish
midrashim.
goes out of
You
the
don't
water,
cross
it does
midrashim, right? In this one midrash, when the rabbi wants to teach you that way,
Okay.
so you see it as it could be that way, and then it could also Torah could have multiple. It doesn't have to only be compared to water. It could also be compared to fire, as you said. Right? It doesn't have to work together.
So you
right?
can compare it to anything.
But
Like
the
your
whole
two
point is
humans,
not.
oh,
The whole
yeah, it
point is not
lives.
to compare. Again, I hear what you're saying. Many people have a problem with this. They're saying, no, is it like this or just because I say it's like this, it can't not be like something else.
It could also be like something.
Person could have many traits.
Right, exactly. Person have many traits. It could have a lot of different, like in poems, right? Again, we'll go back to the G's, Solomon, right? Like you said. No.
That's not.
Person's giving like a love story, right, to their beloved, right? They use a lot of synonyms, right? Or they use a lot of comparative language. They compare it. You're like the sun that's shining. You're like the stars. You're like the moon. How could you be like the moon and the sun, right? Well, one's at night, one's at day, right? No, there's one character trait that he wants to highlight with the moon, and another character trait that they want to highlight with the sun. Let's get to the story because we don't have much time. Guess what? You know how much time we have left?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
11 minutes.
Look at this. We've been learning 35 minutes. How good is that?
It says 25 minutes.
34
No,
minutes.
25 minutes. We just turned on the camera, but we were 10 minutes before.
Exactly.
So saying when you're having fun and you're having a good time.
Time flies
good.
by.
So only Jack is fasting? No, and Steven. Jack and Steven.
Yeah, I'm taking advantage that I don't have to fast.
I hear you.
I had
Holiday
to
Yosef
eat a
says you
kiwi
don't
and I
have
was
to.
confused why I just came home and ate a kiwi for some reason.
Who ate a kiwi? You?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you're saying you were trying to fast.
Yeah,
but
and then
you
I
were-
forgot that I was fasting. So I was
So
like,
it happens. It
oh my
happens.
god, is that a kiwi?
Is that a kiwi? That's what you broke it on? A kiwi? Guys, you're in deal. Hot Bagel Bakery, bro. Hot Bagel Bakery. I like egg everything with the tuna salad.
Like
Mm.
every no
Egg with
egg,
cream cheese.
egg with cream cheese, egg toasted with cream cheese. That's
No,
all
that's
exactly.
mine. That's mine.
Butter,
Egg
butter.
with cream cheese.
What do you
not
like, Steve?
toasted.
Plain everything.
That was
But
funny.
there's nothing in it. Just eat the everything bagel. That's it.
Wow.
Nothing. No cream cheese. No anything. Wow.
Wow.
There you go.
What a
Sesame. My
I
family
can't have
likes sesame
sesame, so I
also.
can't have
Sesame
it.
cream cheese.
Egg everything.
Egg everything.
Salt bakers are so
Nah, man.
loaded.
Salt is too much. It's OD.
My daddy said.
Yeah, but you
Too
don't
much,
you
too
don't
much
do
salt,
you don't
too
do
much
salt
salt.
and cream cheese.
My
You
daddy
just do
said
salt
we got
plain.
diabetes.
Salt and like what? What? Did you say his dad has diabetes?
My dad's a doctor. He's the farthest from diabetes.
Oh, okay. Inshallah, you should stay healthy.
Inshallah.
Amen.
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 But
Amen.
you just said amen.
That
That
happened, inshallah.
And the last, hey, listen, you got a lot of berachot. Okay,
Okay,
let's go. Let's go. Camera's still on. Don't worry about it. It's not going to. It's like a private class. They're going to see it. Don't worry. Dave will take care of it.
Yeah, who's
okay.
seeing this class?
I'm giving it to Jesse.
And then whatever. We'll just
Yeah.
take it off. Okay? Again, this is a private
So there's
class
no
for you
point in
guys.
this.
Okay?
So this is
No.
point of this
Sometimes
one.
you throw it on YouTube. It'll be funny. You want it on YouTube?
Come
Why
on, so
not?
you get one viewer.
Yes.
It's fun. Yeah, one view. If I get 10 views, Hadid.
If you get 10 views, you get like
10 views
0
gets one
cents.
cent.
10 views gets one spent.
10 views. Every 10 views.
Every 10 views for the rabbis?
Yeah.
What should be on our wheel? Like,
Learn more Torah for 10
learn more
hours.
Torah. Yeah, you got to do more
You get
dapim.
an extra class to throw
Extra
about
classes.
that.
Okay, ready? In the 7 minutes that we
Come
have,
on,
let's do this
Enjoy
story. I
what
want
you
to
see.
tell you the story. Ready? So the whole 8 minutes. The whole reason why this story came in, right, is Rabbi Yehuda, he was giving the optimistic version of the pessimistic pesukim. And then, right, he was putting the positive onto the negative. And now, in this last moment, we talked about what? Which thing? A reed. A kaneh. A kaneh. And this kaneh blows easily in the wind. So the number one character trait that they wanted to bring out now was that it's easy. Listen to this. Now the Gemara starts with a different rabbi. It says, Maaseh Sheba... Sorry. Tanura Banan. The rabbis taught in the Gemara. Right in the Braita, really, usually it is. Right? Tanura Banan. Le'olam yehe adam rach kakaneh. Always a person should be soft and easy like a reed. That's the number one thing that a person should be. Again, and it says, "Ve'al yeheh kasher ka'erez." Don't be strong and stiff like what? Like the cedar.
tree.
Like the cedar. So what does that mean to you guys? What does that mean? Right. What a person should be. A person should be soft and easy as a kaneh, and not be, let's say, stiff and let's say like too hard. Right? Okay, now let's say like square up, but let's say what? Let's say meaning a person should be. What are some of the things that we would think about? What comes to mind? Right? Like what would be character trait?
Hard.
Character trait. Like when someone says, that guy's a tough guy.
He's
he's a
hard.
tough
So what does that mean?
Big. He's strong.
So again, definitely that's a
burly.
positive. Now the rabbis are trying to teach us. The rabbis are trying to teach us that a person should always be soft, right, or
Gentle.
easy,
Fragile.
gentle, like the reed,
Like
but
a
not
reed.
like the eres. So what does that mean to you? What
Open
is it?
personality.
Open personality,
that's
Dave
good.
Rami, good. Also, it should be
Open-minded.
open-minded, good, very good. That's part of it. So watch, we're going to see in this story, it should be accepting, and a person shouldn't think,
Wait, the story didn't happen
shouldn't be
yet?
harsh. The story didn't happen yet. Ready for the story?
Yeah.
מעשה שבא רבי אלעזר ברבי שמעון ממגדל גדול מבית רבו והיה רחוב על Rachov al hamor Tawil al sifat nahar.
So he was walking.
What
on a
happened?
donkey.
He was going on. No, Rabbi Elazar, but Rabbi Shimon was going right. His town of origin was Migdal Gador, and he was going from the house of his rabbi, and he was riding on a donkey. Umitayel al sifat nahar, and the donkey was walking on the banks of the river. V'samach simcha gdola. He was extremely happy. V'hayeta da'ato gasa alav, and not only was he so happy, his da'at, right, was gasi. He was overcome with haughtiness. He was overcome with haughtiness, with a sense of that he was great.
Like
overconfident. Why? Like overconfident, exactly. He was just coming from where? The house of his rabbi, and he was feeling like so accomplished. I learned so much, and I tons of Torah.
I think I should go to lottery. I should buy a lottery ticket.
So I don't think he was saying like I felt lucky. He was saying he felt very proud, overly confident. Gas ruach, right? And he was on. Not only it was happiness, but it crossed the line. He was happy, but so happy that he felt that his accomplishments were super above and beyond. Exactly. Nizdamen lo adam echad sheya mechuar biyoter. All of a sudden, as he's riding on the donkey on the banks of the river, he sees. No, he didn't fall off.
He sees a reed.
He doesn't see a reed.
You said he was walking by the river.
No.
He sees G's.
I see. So
He
the
looks
rabbi.
away in praise.
No. It looks away and praise. For sure, the story would end that way, but still, we gotta. I like the dahak, but not in the. Okay. He says, "Nizdamen lo adam echad sheya mechuar biyoter." All of a sudden, he met up with a man who was mechuar. Mechuar means, in his eyes, he was disgusting, right, or not worthy of him. Mechuar literally means like almost like blackened with disgust, right? Like he was better.
He was thinking like he was the one.
That he was better with him. He says, "Amar lo shalom alecha Rabbi," right? The guy that was mechoar, right? Mechoar means, let's say, disgusting.
Dirty, like
he tells the rabbi who's riding on the hamor, but now he's all confident in himself, right? He's overly confident. He's arrogant now. He tells the rabbi, "Shalom alecha Rabbi," v'lo yichzir lo. He doesn't answer him back.
He's like,
he didn't answer him back.
Well, because he thinks he's like an abid.
So no. He thought he was like somebody that wasn't worthy of anything of his time. Right? Mechuar is disgusted with him. This guy. No, not blackened. Mean let's say like it's something that gets charred, right? Something that gets charred on the grill, right? Sometimes it could be looked at as like disgusted, right? Burnt, right? So he says, "Amar lo shalom alecha Rabbi v'lo yichzir lo." Amar lo, right? Rabbi Elazar told him, "Reka, you empty person, kama mechuar oto haish." He says, this is how decrepit and disgusting this person is. Right? No, but he didn't answer him back. So he got upset. He got insulted. He said, "This is how disgusting you are. This is what everything is." Right? And he said, but again, he's still yelling at him now. In this Gemara, what is he telling him? He's saying, "How could you even say hello to me? Is everybody as disgusting as you are in your town?" Is that nice for the rabbi to say to the person? Sometimes you have to be careful, and I know this as a rabbi. Imagine.
Wait, the rabbi saying it to the guy?
Yeah, the rabbi.
The guy
said to the rabbi, "How are you, Rabbi?"
He goes,
and then the rabbi didn't answer, and not only that, he said, "Look at you, you disgusting person. Is everybody in your town as disgusting as you?" She's roasting him. Now what happens? Now look at how he roasts the rabbi back. Look what he says. He says, "Any odea." He says, "I don't know. I don't know if they're as disgusting as I am. Why don't you do this? Ella, lech ve'amor le'uman sha'asani. Why don't you go to the person, the craftsman, who made me, and tell him that I'm disgusting." Nailed it. Right? You think I'm disgusting? Every single person was made and Tzelem Elokim from Hashem. So go to Hashem and tell him what? How disgusting I am. The story is a little bit longer. We're short on time. I'll just paraphrase. Bottom line is he begs for forgiveness. He follows him into the town. He asks publicly for forgiveness. And he sees that he was so wrong, right? For embarrassing this person. Ending up the townspeople, they say, "Look, he's the rabbi. Forgive him. Even though he said something really bad, forgive him. He's the chacham. He's the rabbi. he's supposed to be taken care of. But le'olam, what does he say?
No,
He says, from this, he says, I always learned now that, right, the rabbi, right, Rabbi Elazar Rabbi, he says, always now, he said, le'olam yihadam rach kakaneh v'lo yeh kashe ka'erez. Lefichach, zacha kana litol hemena kolmos tichtol bo sevet Torah tefillin u'mezuzot. He says, the rabbi ended up learning a lesson from this story, right? He got embarrassed.
Yeah, very embarrassed.
He felt like he did the wrong thing, right? He had to apologize. He says, now I learned, right? I shouldn't be tough like an Erez. Tough means, look, I learned, I'm hard like the cedar tree. Because what happens? Because that means what? I'm tough. A guy comes, I learned a lot of Torah. And now when I learn a lot of Torah, what happens? I should be a person that's, we're wrapping up, but we're finishing, right? I learned a lot of Torah. So if I learn a lot of Torah, what happens? I'm going to think, I'm better than a person. So that's what led the rabbi to say what? To tell the person that he was disgusting. The rabbi, after this story, he changed his whole outlook. And what did he say?
Everyone's beautiful.
Everyone should... No, but plug it back in. Don't be hard and tough like it is, which it should be. Soft and easy like the reed. Like the reed. And then he said, and that's why, no, look, let's take it one further. The last line, I'm reading the last line of the Gemara. We have 2 minutes. Yeah. Last line of the Gemara says the following. Ready? Lufichach. What does the fichach mean? And therefore, Zacha kaneh, the kaneh, the reed, had the merit. The merit means the reward. Right? Litol hemena kolmos, that you would take from it the kolmos. Again, pronounce kolmos. How do we pronounce kolmos? Kolmos. With a kof, right? Kolmos. The kolmos is what? What's the interpretation of the kolmos?
The thing that you write
everything
Excellent.
in.
Right?
Like everything
that you're writing with the Sefer Torah with. We could have taken it, I'm sure, would we have been able to make a writing device from an erez? Yes, of course. It's made of wood. Can I make a wood pencil? Yes, of course. But that's not anything that we write. What do we write the Sefer Torah with? The kolmos that comes. Guys, don't pay attention. We write the kolmos. Where does the kolmos come from?
A reed.
Good. Why? Because of this story. Because they're just like the reed. What does the reed symbolize, guys? Being arrogant or being easy and soft?
Easy and soft.
Easy and soft. And being nice to the person that's around you. So how do we write the Sefer Torah? We write the words of the Sefer Torah with what?
G's.
With right? What do we write the Sefer Torah with, Solomon? Kolmos. Right? The kolmos is what? Kolmos is because it's soft. The only way that, how does your tefillin, your Torah, how does everything do what?
From the kolmos.
How does it supposed to be done with that feeling? You learn Torah, you have to be what? Soft. This rabbi, when he was learning the Torah, he got in trouble, he got embarrassed, and he yelled at this guy because he thought what? He thought he was better. He thought he was stronger than them. Instead, how should a person always, the rabbi learned the story, you think that yourself as a low person, soft, speak nicely, with the right amount of respect, with the right amount of all of these things, and then a person has the right amount of Torah mitzvot. And then you'll get a beracha that Hashem gives you what? The right woman, not G's. The right woman at the right, what I say in the beginning?
At the right time.
Right woman at the right time.
Shavuot Tov.